Did you know that in just 10 years, Gen Z will control over $33 trillion in global assets? That's more than millennials, Gen X, and boomers combined. But what does this mean for the financial world? Well, there's a massive generational shift happening in finance, and it's about to change everything. Let's break down the key differences between Gen Z and millennials in terms of money, investments, and financial mindset, so you can get ahead of the game. You've probably heard a lot about millennials in finance. They've been dubbed the broke generation, but guess what? Gen Z is rewriting the rules entirely. We're talking about digital natives who came of age during the rise of cryptocurrencies, the gig economy, and the democratization of investing. The financial world is being reshaped by two powerful forces, millennials and Gen Z. And while there are some overlaps, the differences are clear. Here's the kicker. Millennials grew up in a time of economic uncertainty, the 2008 financial crash, and rising student debt. They saw homeownership become a distant dream. Gen Z? They're less focused on traditional markers of success, like owning a home, and they're embracing a new kind of wealth building, one that's digital, decentralized, and driven by entrepreneurship. So, what makes Gen Z so different when it comes to managing money? Well, Gen Z tends to be more conservative and pragmatic about their financial goals. If you're part of Gen Z, you probably grew up hearing about the financial struggles of your parents, how they were burdened with student loans or hit hard by the 2008 crisis. Gen Z, then, is hyper-aware of the importance of financial security, and they're making smarter choices early on. Unlike millennials, who were sold the dream of doing what you love, but ended up saddled with debt and a difficult job market, Gen Z tends to focus on side hustles and passive income. Many are already in the game with investments, even before they hit their 20s. Whether it's crypto, stocks, or starting a business, Gen Z is all about financial independence. They also leverage technology in ways millennials never could have imagined, using apps like Robinhood, Acorns, or even TikTok for financial advice. But how do these differences translate into the numbers? Let's take a look. Millennials were early adopters of tech and digital platforms, but Gen Z, they were raised on them. Gen Z is more likely to invest in stocks, crypto, or peer-to-peer lending at an earlier age compared to millennials, who waited until later in life. According to a recent survey, nearly 60% of Gen Z have invested in stocks or cryptocurrency by the time they're 24, compared to just 39% of millennials at the same age. For millennials, the gig economy was often a necessity, something they did to survive. But for Gen Z, side hustles are a way of life. Over 50% of Gen Z already have a side hustle, whether it's selling products online, freelance work, or investing. They're using platforms like Fiverr, Etsy, and even social media to make money. Millennials, on the other hand, are still catching up with this mindset. While millennials are drowning in student loan debt, Gen Z is much more cautious about debt. Only 21% of Gen Z said they took out student loans for their education, compared to 35% of millennials. Gen Z has learned from their predecessors' mistakes and is much more cautious about taking on debt. Millennials were often advised to just save and invest in the stock market. Gen Z, they're all about emergency savings first. Nearly 70% of Gen Z says they would prioritize saving over investing, especially in a time of economic uncertainty. Okay, so how can you as a Gen Z individual take control of your finances and build wealth faster than any generation before you? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Start with financial education. Learn the basics of investing, budgeting, and financial planning. This is your foundation. You don't have to go to business school for this. Use online resources, podcasts, and social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube to learn from finance influencers. Step 2. Get in the game early. Start investing, whether it's in stocks, ETFs, or cryptocurrencies. The earlier you start, the better you'll be in the long run. Use investment apps like Robinhood or Webull to get started without high fees. Consider dollar cost averaging if you're unsure about timing the market. Step 3. Build multiple streams of income. Gen Z is known for its entrepreneurial spirit. Whether it's freelancing, starting an online business, or investing in real estate, build multiple income streams. The key is diversifying your income sources to ensure financial stability. Step 4. Master the art of budgeting and saving. Saving money isn't about being cheap, it's about having control. Use apps like Mint or YNAB, You Need a Budget, to track your spending. And make sure you have at least 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses saved up in an emergency fund. Step 5. Leverage technology and tools. Gen Z excels at using technology to simplify life. Use apps like Acorns or Stash to automate your savings and investments. Also, consider using tools like Credit Karma to keep track of your credit score and ensure you're not missing any opportunities to improve your financial health. Now, let's talk expert tips. Tip 1. Focus on compound interest. The earlier you start investing, the more you'll benefit from compound interest. Even small investments today can snowball into massive gains over time. Invest consistently and let compound interest work its magic. Tip 2. Diversify your portfolio. Don't just put all your money in one stock or cryptocurrency. Diversification is key to reducing risk. Create a mix of stocks, bonds, and alternative investments to ensure a balanced portfolio. Tip 3. Master your mindset. Financial success starts with the right mindset. Stay disciplined, set long-term goals, and avoid the temptation to chase quick wins. The key to building wealth is patience. Tip 4. Use technology to stay ahead. Financial apps are more accessible than ever. Leverage them to automate savings, invest effortlessly, and track your financial progress. So whether you're Gen Z or a millennial, there's one thing that's clear. The financial world is changing, and it's happening faster than ever. Gen Z is stepping up to lead the charge in revolutionizing how we approach money, investing, and wealth building. Remember, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how you manage it. Start early, stay disciplined, and use the tools at your disposal to make your money work for you. If you want to learn more about how to build wealth and take control of your financial future, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment with your own tips on how you're managing your money. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Until next time, this is Lex Revena, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in yourself. Let's get that bread.